Hey guys, welcome to Mystories, where we give information and you guys try to figure it out. UFOs are officially here, and the United States government has said they have seen unidentifiable objects in the sky, which military has released footage of, which they call UAPs. Apparently, this has been going on for quite some time now, and we're going to take you back to 1994, where 300 people in Michigan claimed that what they saw was UFOs.
It was March 8, 1994. Jack Bushong, a retired meteorologist, said, quote, "They were just moving so fast, and two more started coming into play there. I really had little time to describe where they were before they had moved and jumped again," unquote. This happened in Michigan, 1994. Jack had spent his entire career working for the National Weather Service. On that night, he was manning the National Weather Service office by himself in Muskegon on a cold but routine night. The National Weather Service no longer has an office or radar there after the government forecasting agency went through modernization and reorganization in the mid-90s. The phone rang and Jack answered it to find an Ottawa County dispatcher on the other line who had been fielding reports of strange lights in the sky. They called the National Weather Service to see if anything was showing up on the weather radar. It turns out, over 100 people reported witnessing the strange lights in the sky. Cindy Pravda, who lives in Grand Haven, shared her account with the news in March of 2019, the 25th anniversary in one of Michigan's most famous UFO sightings. That's when Jack took manual control of the Muskegon radar and began waving it beam back and forth across Ottawa County looking for any objects. The conversation between Jack and the dispatcher was recorded, where the Michigan chapter of the Mutual UFO Network has shared online. That night, there weren't any thunderstorms to track on the radar, but rather something else. Jack said, quote, "You could pretty much use it like a spotlight. I had two cranks to bring it up or down or side to side. You pretty much send it out searching for weather. Any type of rain, sleet, snow, or hail is what we were usually looking for when we took it off automatic mode." Jack recounts the object first appeared alone on the radar returns. It started out as one device. That device was coasting about 100 miles per hour, and then all of a sudden it stopped. It shot up about 5,000 feet, then 10,000 feet, and I was getting it on the radar. Jack was saying that a police officer told him the same exact thing that he was seeing on the radar was happening with that police officer's eyes. Jack said, quote, "It was almost as if it was like saying to me, 'Hey, I know you can see me,' until that one got up to about 40,000 feet and I finally saw it," unquote. Jack went on to describe I'd seen a triangle of objects on a radar, oriented vertically before they finally spread out in the horizontal. He also said that the closest radar it would look bigger and that there were two more. One was on the shore of Lake Michigan and the other inland a little bit. They were all separated by about 20 miles. Jack also said that one of the objects would zip across 20 miles away before the others followed in a geometric pattern. He either saw them hovering around or jumping at a high rate of speed over to the next spot. Then there were two other spots jumping to get back into the same triangle, and they kept doing this. The heights even came close to 60,000 feet sometimes, Jack said. And with this, he said that disqualified a theory that some try to say to debunk his observations as a ground clutter. But he said ground clutter is caused by a radar phenomenon known as anomalous propagation, when the radar beams bend down towards the surface of the Earth, echoing back returns from objects close to the ground. Jack said this continued to happen until at least 3 or 4 of the objects made it over southern Lake Michigan, where he says he saw dozens more of these anomalies. For about 2 hours, he saw a larger cluster of stationary objects with some slowly moving in between them. This was coincidentally an area of open water on Lake Michigan in a year where the lake was almost entirely covered in ice. Jack said that he spoke to an air traffic controller that he observed 3 aircraft in formation off in the distance, but didn't have any transponder code. Jack's credibility goes far. He graduated from Florida State and was in Grand Rapids with the National Weather Service. He was there until about 1994, the same year all these things took place. He was actually told by his higher-ups that he probably should get out of the town because he wasn't going to seem as credible. he got out of town. He was not allowed to speak to media because they didn't want to send the wrong message to the public. The National Weather Service did not want to become a UFO reporting center for the United States, Jack said. So that's where they really had to duck in and cover for this one. Over the years, Jack has had to face ridicule for this, but he's become more comfortable speaking about it after the U.S. Department of Defense released videos confirming what it says are unidentified aerial phenomena. The sightings of March 8, 1994 are still labeled as unexplained, according to the Michigan chapter of the Mutual UFO Network, which is the largest civilian UFO research organization. Jack plans on publishing more of his account and is currently putting together documents to put something together in a modality which will best serve the public. In total, there were 300 people which reported the sighting of the UFOs, and some describe them as flickering Christmas lights consisting of 5 or 6 objects. The lights were blue, red, white, and green lights. Chicago Tribune says that those 300 witnesses were in 42 counties of Michigan, including Muskegon, Ottawa, Berrien, and Allegan counties. Many individuals called 911, and it was observed by a police officer in addition to Jack at the National Weather Service, which the radar was at Muskegon County Airport. Netflix did an episode on Unsolved Mysteries in which they detailed the case of this 1994 episode. Other news organizations have followed up on this in light of what the government has come out with. There was a couple camping near Lake Michigan, and they said they saw a UFO object hovering above the water. Water was going up into the spaceship. It was flowing like a waterfall going up into the UFO. UFO? UAP? Or was it something else?
Crazy stuff out there. Is it our government? Is it actually a UFO? Is it another country with superior technology? Let us know what you guys think. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on Mysteries, and be on the lookout for our next mystery.